Now the market is recovering today, so it's definitely good to see that. As yesterday I have not done a market video, there was just no point whatsoever. There was nothing to add whatsoever. I don't think I could have added any value, because I do think that this market has pulled back because of some whale manipulation, and it's following a similar pattern to what we've seen in November 2020 when we had that humongous pullback, and then everything pumped significantly as of January, if you remember. So yeah, I mean, from my point of view, there's just not much value I could add aside from that there's manipulation, right? We've seen this kind of manipulation in the past as well, but it's definitely happening more now at a higher level, now that there are just so many interested parties involved in the cryptocurrency community and in the markets. So because of that, there's just, you know, a lot of panic selling going on, a lot of FUD and so on. You know, people are hurt because people's stop losses were triggered. Some people didn't have any stop losses and could not bear the loss, and then ended up selling. Well, you don't really lose until you sell, right? So they ended up selling out of fear that the market is going to crash even further, because all of these traders were saying that Bitcoin is going to go to 20k, and it likely could, right? I'm not saying it couldn't, but just the fact that so many of these people are repeating the same thing over and over again, it actually becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way, right? So yeah, because of that, it just yeah, I just don't see the point in talking about it. But anyway, Polkadot is doing quite okay, right? Back above $20, as you can see, are $22.51. Let's check Kusama quickly. Kusama has also performed quite well. Yeah, 328. It actually went to 340 on Binance there earlier on, so slow recovery. But again, if the market does pull back to 20k or around the 20k range, as some professional traders are saying, then we could likely see Kusama go below 150, probably even below 100, although it's very unlikely, but it's not impossible, right? Because Kusama has a very low supply. It's just a shame because Polkadot Decoded has not been the best trigger for the Polkadot ecosystem tokens and coins, right? Chinex, how is Chinex doing? Chinex is slowly recovering as well. 626, so it's doing quite okay after that massive dump that it had to $5.10, which is crazy. I didn't think we'll see that price again in 2021. I thought that maybe it's going to happen in the next bear market, who knows, right? But I definitely didn't see this coming so soon, considering that this is the price we're at back in at the beginning of February, and then we went back to that price of the $5 range. So yeah, there are also some news with regards to Chinex, by the way. The CEO of Chinex has been interviewed by Token Insight. It was a Chinese interview, so you have to go to this page here. I'm actually going to post a link in the description of this video if you want to read the AMA. And it's in Chinese, so you're going to need to translate the page. Right click and translate, as you do on most browsers, and just have a read through this. I'm not going to spend time in this video to talk about it, because I want to talk about Polkadot JS a little bit and show you one of the features that has been added to the Polkadot JS wallet. Let's look at Fala Network, see how that's doing. Fala Network 64.96, so it's recovering as well, 38.8%. But again, it is on Binance, so that does help it. When a token or a coin is on Binance and the market comes back, they tend to recover faster because of that, right? Because they're getting that extra push from all those traders, all those bots that are on Binance. Next, let's look at Keaton. Keaton took a significant plunge. It was crazy. It went to like $60 or so, which is close to the all-time low. And in fact, the all-time low is actually much lower. I thought it's like 50, but apparently the all-time low on Uniswap was like $36. So very, very low. Also Ring, let's see how Ring is doing. Ring went really, really low. It went to like 3.8 cents. So yeah, 5.5 now. So not bad, right? It's recovering. Like everything is coming back very, very fast, and that's great to see. But my concern is, how long will this actually last, especially after seeing this kind of plunge? Could it be the start of the uptrend now, and we're going to constantly see this for the next couple of weeks, or maybe the next couple of days, I should say, before another pullback? Who knows? We'll have to see. It all depends on how Bitcoin holds, right? If Bitcoin breaks above 41,000, then there's definitely momentum there. Let's take a look at Staffy as well. Let's see how Staffy is doing. Staffy is at 145, so again, slow recovery here, 24.3%. Next, let's take a look at Edgeware. 1 cent. So Edgeware is now recovering. So the Edgeware holders must be really, really pissed off right now. but it is what it is. Let's look at Crust. I haven't checked Crust in a long time. Crust is 45.98, so again, low supply on Crust, and that does help it. Let's look at PDEX. How's PDEX doing? PDEX had a nice recovery, 1866, and PDEX went as low as 1280 or 1260 if I remember correctly on KuCoin. So amazing pullback there, considering that it touched almost $40. You know, to see it dump so much is just amazing, right? Imagine those people that sold close to the top and waited in USDT for this kind of dump to go below 15 and to buy back in. Like they're ready and set off for the next rocket, right? For Polkadot, because there's going to be a lot of good things coming with Polkadot in the next few months. And next, let's take a look at Kulupu. Actually, Kulupu is one that I've covered a long time ago, the only proof of work on the Polkadot ecosystem, and it's been trashed, but it has recovered quite significantly here. As you can see, 49%, 12 cents here. The problem with Kulupu is that even though the dev is great at doing his job, is that they don't have the funding, or at least the treasury funding, to be able to list on bigger exchanges. So because of that, miners are just constantly dumping. I've been saying this time and time again. I used to hold some Kulupu, and I have sold when I witnessed the reality, when reality actually hit me, and I realized that they keep on changing their proposals all the time to try to lower that mining return or mining distribution rate, but then they're changing it to go back up again, and it's just a bit of a mess, to be honest. So yeah, proof of work, if it lacks liquidity, is definitely a no-go for me, and I'm going to stay away from these kind of assets unless I see they've got like some kind of strong backing, like maybe a huge project backing them, like Coinbase or Binance, or some kind of strong backing to give me some kind of hope that they're going to list on bigger exchanges and thus have more liquidity. But until that happens, from my point of view, yeah, it's a no-go. Next, let's take a look at Polkadot JS here. So what I want to talk about is in this section here, and I have mentioned this in the last video, last two videos actually, before the centrifuge review video, which I did yesterday. Do check that out, by the way, if you haven't already. It's an interesting project, and the token sale is due to start tomorrow if you have successfully registered and you've done your KYC. Of course, if you're not from the United States, because US is not in the list. And you can take part in the token sale. We're going to go into the queue tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it because I have chosen option 1 to go into the queue. So we'll see if I can make it or not with 500 USDT as the maximum contribution. And yeah, what I want to talk about is with the live relays and parachains here. So if you go to Kusama, again, you can see all the different networks here that want to become parachains. And I have been told that Gavin Wood wants only a certain number of parachains to connect. I think 5 at the beginning. So I think that the ones that we see here are going to be, we're going to see 5 from the ones that we see here, including Karura, because Karura is not in this list. I think Karura is going to get added. I don't know what they're doing at the moment. But once Karura get added here, then out of all these different projects, we're going to see 5 of them connect as parachains, and then more after that if everything goes okay. Crust Shadow here, I like the name for Crust Canary Network. So what I want to talk about is this section here. So if you go to network, you could see that there's a parachains tab here, and this used to exist back in the beginning when I first covered Polkadot JS. If you've watched my Polkadot Web Wallet tutorial, it actually had this feature here, but they've removed it while they were developing. So they were probably adding things to it, and they didn't want people to mess around with this. So this is where we're going to be able to do the bidding. If you go to auctions, you're going to see the Parachain auctions here, and there's no ongoing auction at the moment. So these auctions are going to be in relation to the projects that have enough funding to lock down, or not to lock down, but to put down enough KSM to help with their bidding. So that's how the auctions are going to take part, are gonna work here. And then there's the crowd loan, and the crowd loan is of course the area where you're going to participate and you're going to be bidding with your KSM for a specific project which you're hoping to see bond as a parachain. They're going to start as a parathread, and of course there are no parathreads available now, so they're going to deploy as a parathread. Once they deploy, they're going to have a para ID there. You can see we can even add one. If you've got a project and you want to add one, you can do so. And yeah, they're going to be in here in the crowd loan section. So this is the area that we're going to be using when we want to take part in these parachain auctions in reality, because the auction section is really for the companies or the projects that have enough funding themselves and don't need funding from the community, and the crowd loan is where they're going to get the funding from the community. So this is where we're going to be able to bid. So yeah, this is just pretty much what I wanted to cover up on today's video. I am going to go in less than 1 hour to BitBoy's channel once again for the live stream of around the blockchain. I'm really looking forward to go into it again and to talk about a couple of topics that have been discussed with regards to mostly United States related, with regards to accepting virtual currencies and things like that. But you're going to find out more when you watch the show. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.